note taker. It seems to join everything, even when it's not invited.
Okay. I think I'm recording. Who knows?
No, you're not
I'm
recording.
sure I am. So we're recording it twice. One for the note taker. Actually, we had a little word about that last time, but it's quite a useful bit of kit. And it's the sort of thing that businesses are using at the moment. Okay, so I might as well start. I'm not sure anybody else is going to log in. Welcome to AI, the cool stuff. Today we're going to talk about some cool stuff. We're going to talk about some ethics. We're going to touch on Grok 2, but I haven't really played with it that much. But we want to talk about, oh, here's Steffi. We want to talk about things that are possibly coming up for business because as sort of Jazz spoke with Jazz yesterday, and there's so I think there are some things coming up that people are using right now in business for with AI, and there are things that are coming up, and there is also some stuff that's might be a little bit scary. So we'll first of all we'll do our usual, introduce ourselves, and then give them there and tell me if you. It, I know again we've had this question before, but if what would you like your AI to do? What is it? What is it you do that's really tiresome that you think, oh, it'd be nice if somebody did that? Um, Shirley.
You would ask me first because I never know what I would want an AI to do. I'm so used to doing everything for myself. So good morning, everyone. I'm Shirley. I work in health and wellness. I work mainly with women who are looking to change their lifestyle, either because they have no money or no time. So we work to find a solution that gives them whichever it is they're looking for. So I also help people to look good, feel great, and live well. Actually, maybe I should try and find AI to find me some customers. So I want some wealthy people to be my customers. That would work for me.
High net worth individuals, as all the financial advisors say at the network meetings. I need to be in touch with some high net worth individuals. Oh, you lot are not my. I'm not coming anymore. I'm just looking for high net worth individuals. The fact you might know some high net worth individuals is irrelevant. um, Jane.
Yeah, hi everyone. Jane Chakraborty from Invicta Linux. We do IT for small and medium-sized businesses with a strong focus on Linux and open source. So AI, gee, I can't think of anything I wouldn't want it to do for me, really. I think I'd like to see, have those little, help bots. So AI, obviously, in the format of a model format, whatever it is, whatever being it is. But then it could do all the stuff that is so tedious to have to do, like the washing up and cooking and, just that drudgery of life. Wouldn't it be brilliant? And then, you get in the car, it would drive you, obviously, and it would take you to the destination because it would have pre-planned the destination and be aware of any traffic holdups en route. So there's absolutely nothing I can think of. Well, obviously a few things perhaps, but that I can't think AI, I could harness AI for. Yes, brilliant.
Yeah. Just need a robot to make the beds and do the washing up and things like
Yeah, well,
that.
everything really. Cleaning,
They're
gardening.
all the drudgery stuff.
Yeah, all the stuff I really don't enjoy.
But leave us to do the stuff that AI is doing at the moment that we like doing, and
Yeah.
do all the stuff we hate doing that it's not going to do. Like if you had something in the corner and you say, "Oh, my plug's not draining properly in the bathroom. I have to fart about with it, and
Yeah,
the little thing it doesn't bounce up properly. Can you go and fix that?" But
yeah,
no,
you see?
I've got to fix it.
Yeah, I know. It's not fair, is it?
Meanwhile, it's busily working away trying to take my job.
Yeah.
Andy.
Yeah, Andy Web Success Insights. I help people get more from their websites. To answer your question about what would I like AI to do, everything really. Um, I live in a state of perpetual overwhelm of everything. emails, consultancy stuff, lots of things to do at any given time in various different systems. And I'm actively looking for a way to pull that all together via AI so that it manages me and everything a lot better. Not necessarily automating everything and replying to people, but basically just trying to get things to understand what the priorities are and to say, hey, look at this stuff via agents and stuff like that. But yeah, that would make my life a lot easier.
Perfect. John.
John from Pearson Treehouse Web Development. And I don't really know, but I think what I want it to be doing for me at the moment, which it is in the last month or so, is make me money. So I'm now deploying it for clients in various ways, and it's started to monetize, which is nice.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, John. And Jazz?
Jazz Greer, business advisor, consultant, coach based in Derby. I'm looking at it in two ways, how I can harness AI, especially for small micro businesses, to help them to save time and money. But for myself, I think I can't be bothered employing staff anymore. You know, they're not reliable. You know, and so I'm looking at ways I can use AI to take on a lot of that workload that I would give to an employee or even a VA. So I'm looking for efficiency gains and to help maintain relationships with my network. So rather than me having to ring them up all the time, you know, I want AI to do bits and pieces over and above the personal interactions, really.
Okay. Well, on to the VAs. We'll be next, but they'll be first. Steffi.
Sorry, I'm totally distracted by two annoying little kittens. Steffi Lewis, 32-year veteran web developer, founder and creator of Your PCM and Splogit, turning coffee into code since 1993. What would I want AI to do? Well, it's actually doing most of it because my entire business is built on it. So much so that when OpenAI have a problem, I can't do any work. So I'm not too sure I need to build in like a Google model as a backup just in case. But I do like my OpenAI. What else would I want it to do? Goodness me. I think I still like the concept of business in a box. Literally, you just sign up and say, here's me, here's my bank account, and it starts dropping money into your bank account every day. Not through share trading, but I don't know, automating drop shipping or something like that. It just picks products, builds an Amazon shop, and away you go. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, sounds cool. That's cool. I was, you know, I was sort of joking about the AI coming along and taking our jobs. I mean, I'm a WordPress guy. I build websites and things, and I'm not really worried about AI because most of my clients are as thick as shit. They couldn't even open a box of matches, let alone run an AI thing and tell it what to do. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be wanted at least for the next 3 years. I'm 64 now, so I might be able to hang on till the end, and then so we shall see. Not that I've got any plans to retire because I don't want to, but we shall see what happens. At least the option will be there. I don't know what the kids. I don't know what the kids are going to be doing. Right, okay. And yeah, I mean, I would like some more voice interaction so that it's, you know, I've been having a real problematical theme, WordPress thing called the 7, and I've been using all the AIs and they're all crap. This week they've all been crap, so they've not managed to. They don't seem to know anything about that theme. They don't seem to be able to fix my particular issues. I do know they're all really confident, and they all come up with, yes, this will definitely fix the problem. Just drop this into the CSS or into the PHP or whatever snippet, and then you put it in and nothing happens. So I'm
Doom loop.
Huh?
You tell the chatbot that didn't work, and it says, "Oh, let's do it this way."
I know you do that, but sometimes you spend hours doing it.
Yeah,
So,
doom looping. I have that all the time. It's so
yeah, yeah, doom loop. I'll write that down. The because what I was, I mean, my basic problem is that it's a crap thing, but never mind. Okay, this week, Grok 2 came out, didn't it? So, Elon, well, XAI unveiled Grok 2. Of course, they say it surpasses previous models, or the previous model, which it would do. The main feature of Grok is that it can now process and analyze visual information, which ChatGPT and Google already can, like documents and diagrams and not just text. So it's not just a chatbot anymore. You could supply supplies invoices or a report and ask it to, just take a photograph of report and ask it to summarize the key takeaways. The main thing about Grok is that it's a bit more rebellious and humorous, which kind of sets it apart from the more neutral tones of ChatGPT and Gemini. And so I find interacting with Grok a little bit more entertaining, It's a bit more irreverent, but I mean, whether it's better, I don't think so. But I think it's more fun. So
David, is it Grok 2 or Grok 4? Because my son was saying something about 4.
no, Grok 2. We're waiting for ChatGPT 5, apparently.
Because apparently the Grok thing you were saying, they're claiming that it can outstrip a PhD student or something like that.
Yeah.
Can't remember exactly what he was
They
talking
did,
about.
they did these exams, a paper had never seen before, and it passed its exams, But there's whether that's impressive or not, I don't know. It's still, but still, everything's progressing. Everything that comes out surpasses the previous one, and I do know Grok is surprisingly quick. It does feed back the information, kind of a rocket stuff. So AI for business. What should I do first? I was something I mentioned before that was going to be possible is now kind of out there, and I did a presentation. Do you guys know about? I know most of us do. Jazz and John, do you know about? Let me just share my screen. About gamma presentations. Okay.
No.
I'll quickly go over that because it is one of the top things being used by businesses, apparently. Fireflies is another one that Andy's using there, which is a note taker, which is haven't actually used it much. Is it free or is it paid?
There is a fee level. I pay about 200 a year for it. Yeah, I mean, it will take notes. It will let you find things within the notes. It will do the audio, the video, everything. If someone's talked, you can ask it questions about the meeting. So if I wanted to go back to this meeting and said, show me all the interesting things apart from David talking about cyberpunk tits and trains, then it would probably do that.
Yeah.
That's just ruined your video, hasn't it?
No. So, I mean,
Sassy. You've got to walk in a sassy manner to get that.
walk in a sassy manner, yeah. That's the key word in your video. Anyway,
but it's not perfect. I mean, I had a meeting the other day which had lots and lots of actions within it. I could tell when I wasn't taking notes I should have done. And the thing that came out the other end, I looked at it, I thought, do you know what? You missed some interesting points there. So it's not perfect.
No. Okay. Let me just share my window. So this is Gamma. It's a website.gamma.app. You can create a new presentation from scratch really easily. I tend to use this. I tend to be a bit more I create an outline with ChatGPT or Gemini of my slideshow first, but you can just generate your presentation here, and the if you were doing a presentation, you've got no time. The rise of the Roman Empire, I get a bit of that character, and you could 8 cards. We'll just do 8. You get 8 on the free level, but you are limited to the number you can make. But it's reasonably generous because it refreshes every month. The paid version's only $8 a month or something, and it's there. So, but that's given me an outline which I can edit these, and then it will just generate the cards. And off it will go, and I can change the theme, I can change the look, I can change the images. It will give me AI generated images, and it will just go ahead and generate those 8 things in no time at all. I'll say no time at all, take some time. So here we go, and then it's quite easy for it to generate images of Romans. So where are we? That's the last slide it's doing now. So it's that's it, it's done it. And then you can present it on the screen. And as I said before, if you had to spend an hour producing, we've done this in a minute. If you had to spend an hour doing this presentation, it would, that would be a lot quicker than it used to take. So anyway,
out of interest with this, if you've got your words prepared yourself, can you import those and have it create the slides for you?
Absolutely. So
yeah,
you can just do in a like I did. So I've done a like I've modified it a few times, but I've ended up with a list of things. And just pasted it into Gamma and told it how many slides I want, and off it goes.
Nice.
So, anyway, this is one I made yesterday with a little bit more care, but they're still good. And it's really about an ethical question, really, about readable humans and how AI can analyze our emotions and behaviors. Now, there are advantages to this. Obviously, with business, you can get somebody in front of you, and you can have an innocuous conversation with them. And every time you mention little buzzwords, you'll see their eye movement, or the way they look, or their expression, or the way they say things can all be analyzed. So let me just go down there. Okay, so we're just going to briefly talk about how AI emotion works, how this is being used in business applications now, and then ethical considerations, and how it's been implemented. So it isn't science fiction, as I said. It actually exists today and is already being deployed with sales teams worldwide. It's AI emotion and behavior analysis. Creates like a window into people's minds, really, and it can give you a competitive advantage. It tracks your micro expressions that you might miss. Slight frown when pricing is mentioned, raised eyebrows signaling surprise or interest at a particular feature. Brief smiles indicating positivity. Even your vocal tone and intonation, just the way you speak, not just what you say. You're sort of raising your pitch of your voice, or hesitation, or the tone variations gives the AI clues as to what you're thinking. And language and sentiment analysis, pain point indicators, frustrating, complicated, positive signals and people hesitation. So what we're aiming for, or what the salesperson aiming for, is to do a custom built process by which they can bring you in as a customer. So the technology is, fairly obvious. Computer vision, a neural network trained on millions of facial expressions. It can detect subtle changes in facial muscles that indicate emotional states. Natural language processing. So, so it's listening to, like I said, listening to your voice and the emotional undertones. Voice analysis, pitch, speed, volume, tremors, to assess your mental state, or sorry, your emotional state while you're talking to the salesperson, who is, by the way, just having an innocuous conversation with you and just putting in and dropping a few things into this conversation, and then machine learning. I mean, it learns over time as well. So as time goes on, it is very quickly learning whether it's right or not in terms of successful sales outcomes. So it'll give you it'll give you a plan. You follow it. It wants to know whether it's successful or not, and then it will tweak that as it goes on. It will tweak that plan so that you become more and more successful. Real-time sales intelligence, which is quite an advantage, I would say. You can have it could pop up on your screen, whilst you're talking to them. So it can give you that information, give you those pointers. So so it gives you the sort of live scoring of their engagement and their objections and things like that. So you can counter the objections almost immediately. They come up and in the right way, because sometimes we can reinforce unless you're a trained salesperson, which I'm not, you could reinforce their objections sometimes by just saying the wrong thing. So you've had your call, and then it produces your comprehensive report with your personalized follow-up. This is what I mentioned earlier, and gives you the objection handling strategies and team coaching opportunities to improve specific conversation
It
techniques.
critiques your performance.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, you can say, well, this happened to him when he said this, and then you obviously pass that on to the team to train them in the in the techniques that have been picked up. Right, sort of transformation through AI emotion analysis. I don't even know if this is true. Oh, okay. It doesn't say. It could have just made these stats up, so I'm not going to dwell too much on those, because it might have been hallucinating, because it hasn't got any reference there other than UK-based SaaS enterprise. It doesn't say Steffi Lewis 2000.
No. 2015.
That's right. So obviously it's that is not a valid case study as far as I'm aware, but
Well, they always say that 71% of stats are made up on the spot.
that's right. Yeah. Exactly. So there are ethical considerations. Should you be informed that AI is analyzing your facial expressions, voice, and language during any sales call? The EU says is moving, that they're pretty much on the privacy side anyway. So the EU were going to say yes. Manipulation versus persuasion. What is the line between personalization and exploitative manipulation? Accuracy and bias. How do we address AI systems that misinterpret expressions, or contain cultural biases? And we know from the past that ChatGPT, for instance, has got a cultural bias, and it's so has Gemini to a certain extent. And end of authenticity. If you knew you were being recorded, could you maintain a poker face during a conversation? Which is going to make conversations more boring. But people, is it something you could learn? Perhaps it's something we should. Perhaps it's a course someone could offer online, how to maintain a poker face
Yeah.
during a sales call, you know.
Yeah, that'll be the next specialism, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's a specialism. There'll be hundreds of people on network meetings
Yeah.
instead of coaches, we'll have
Yeah.
Just have your camera off. Don't confuse it.
yeah. So and anyway, the consent dilemma. I mean, most companies using AI motion analysis do not explicitly inform prospects about its use. So this is creates
It's going to get to the point where, you know, calls are recorded for quality and training purposes. So you're going to have to make a statement. It's like, you know, when we record a Zoom call, it says this call is being recorded. You know, it could say this conversation is being analysed, something like that. You'd have to optionally turn it on, and then the participants would be aware of it happening. Because it's a bit sneaky otherwise. I think having my facial expressions analysed without knowing it,
Yeah.
is a violation of privacy.
Yeah, I
But
do.
they've got to say if a call's being recorded or this is being recorded, of course. So I suppose that they could just extend that warning or notification as is your facial expressions, voice, you know, body language, just
But
about
don't get away
everything,
with it.
really.
This call is being
Yeah.
recorded, which we're all used to. It says for training purposes and to go
Yeah.
over what we talked about, you know, or something like that. It would be like a generalized thing rather than we're going to analyze every little time you raised your eyebrow. And
Yeah, because there's ways and means as well, isn't there? Because you can say this call is being recorded. You can record it, not analyze it in the meeting, and then record the record or analyze the recording of it. So by that rationale, it wouldn't. You're absolutely right, David. It would need to be a general. This is being recorded for, and then something generic that covers all your bases.
yeah.
I suppose thinking about it, I went to the doctors the other day, and they've got this new recording advice equipment, so you can either choose to opt in or opt out of that, which is all good and right. But I suppose, you know, facial expressions and so forth, you know, a whole body penetration, so to speak, would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
I mean, transcription of a doctor's meeting, I wouldn't really have a problem with that as long as it's attached only to my doctor's record, you know, my NHS record. But yeah, I think from a sales perspective, it's a little bit invasive, I think.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, Steffi. I wouldn't like it at all. I like to think I maintain a poker face, but I fear that the odd tweak.
Well, it's hard to keep up if you had a half an hour conversation with
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's hard, and plus you're not. I was saying that a salesperson would train to be friendly with you, put you at your ease. You know, a great salesperson, and they don't necessarily. You know, first of all, they might talk about your family and your new cats and your kittens, and then all other things, and then they ease you into chats about what it is they want to sell you. You know.
But then, in theory, you could have it working the other way, couldn't you? You could be recording the sales agent as well and say to them, by the way, I'm recording you to work out when you're giving me the bullshit. So, you know, we'll all end up with our own recording agents.
Yeah.
I could see a real-time window appearing that says, you know, didn't like that comment, try saying this instead, you know, and if that was like a real-time feed as the conversation was progressing, I think that's quite manipulative.
Yeah, which is what they're doing. It's coming up with little messages on people's screens as they're talking to you, saying, "Oh, he's not sure about that one."
Yeah, because if you take it a step further and have a little cool dashboard with potential to buy 89%, which keeps changing through the conversation.
Yeah, that's right. You're 100% by the end. So I mean, you know. And what they say, sort of manipulation versus communication. You know, they say it's great salespeople all read the room. So this is merely enhancing this natural human capability, which it's probably enhancing it beyond, you know, what our brains could cope with, because we don't really. Well, we can multitask to a certain extent, but I don't. Having all these tools at your disposal will give you a different level of you'd have to be something special to be able to do all these things at once. and then you sort of, your salesperson's got, you know, they say asymmetric power dynamic that's in favor of the salesperson, because they've got access to your subconscious reactions and that they might not be aware of them. So yeah. And like I say, some people, when we're not all the same, and we all have different expressions, as I say, that there can be cultural differences, and it can be misinterpreted. Concentration versus displeasure. You know, some people have got a like what they say is a resting bitch face, haven't they? You might think they're unhappy when they're not. You know? So as yeah. So yeah, that's about it. Poker face era. You're gonna distrust salespeople even. I mean, who trusts a salesperson, you know? I mean, it's so it's so up to businesses to create their own ethical framework, you know, and if you let it be known that you've got an ethical framework, clear in, you know, if you've got clear guidelines about appropriate use of emotional analysis data and things like that, and because in the future, well, even now, but I mean, you're going to have to prioritize trust with clients with AI, because nearly everything you see now is AI. I start watching so many things on YouTube that sound interesting, then as soon as I hear the words don't go quite right, like it puts two words together or something, I just know it's AI, and I think, well, I don't really want to listen to that. So I mean, it's
Netflix.
fine. I don't mind the fact that film is AI generated, but I want the person talking to me to be a real person.
So Netflix have said that they've started to use AI effects for the first time, particularly a film called The Eternauts, which is an Argentinian film that loads of the effects are purely AI generated. Yeah, that's the first time they've done it, apparently.
Yeah.
I'll drop the link in the chat for you guys.
Oh, I was, yeah. So, but when I actually do like to have a real person, because there is a difference, you know. You think, oh, this sounds a bit mechanical, and I know it's going to improve, but I do want to listen. I prefer to listen to someone who can be asked to record it properly and tell you the story, you know, like if it's like a history, even a history thing, right? It's a highly interesting topic, and they've generated images of Neanderthals and everything else because they have to, because there's no way of doing it, and they've done all that, but then they've narrated it properly. They've narrated it themselves. Then I think that's a great video, and I'll watch it, you know. But when I get, you know, a hint that it's not, sometimes it takes quite a few minutes before you realise it's AI though.
Yeah, do you come across it very much? I don't know if I really recognize it. I suppose obviously the
history videos get a lot of views on YouTube. Like some of them have been getting millions of views. So it's a niche that all the AI people are targeting. So it's like flooded with loads of things with like 700 views or
There's
something.
a load of shorts that I keep seeing on YouTube that are purely AI generated, and they're actually really, really good. Mostly at the moment, it's old people criticizing society and talking, you know, it's slightly political, but it makes these old people, I mean, very old people, it's vox pop on the street, and they're just effing and blinding about everything. It's hysterically funny. And stuff's going on in the background. It's like somebody comes up on a wheelie bike and falls in a canal. So there's always these little background, you know, distractions, which are absolutely stunning. So, but there's political ones as well. There's a channel called UK Gully. They're a bit more political, but there's a few others. If you just search for VO, I think it's VO3, hashtag VO3 on YouTube, you'll start seeing some of the shorts. They are very, very funny.
Yeah, because you can make that, you know, obviously it's a lot easier to make a short than it is to make that.
Oh, is it the Absurd Zone? Oh, there it is. Right. I'll copy the channel link for you and see what I'm talking about.
Okay. That's
We
good.
are going to. I think we will get to this point where the humans creating the videos and the content and stuff are going to have some very quick disclaimer type thing at the beginning where it says, "I guarantee within 2 minutes of you watching this, you're going to get to the nuts of what we're talking about here. Otherwise, just come off it." To actually tell people what they're going to get rather than a lot of the bollocks we have to sit through.
Yeah. A lot of time. Yeah, I mean, you see the drop-off rate on videos where you're doing into a preamble, so it happens already. So I say you should have about no more than 10 seconds before you get into the meat of the thing, you know.
But I mean, there's going to be no choice in the matter because as I call it, the younger generation, they just need this really quick, fast stuff. And some of these people coming through the system have that expectation of whatever they're absorbing. And some of these people are being entrusted on behalf of companies to go off and find things. So if it's not resonating with the way they think, then they may not go surface as an option for that company to buy something.
Yeah, definitely. So there's do any of us sell stuff? I suppose you all have sales calls, don't we? You know, one way.
Oh
or
yeah.
another. So it's but we can usually recognize, you know, doesn't take a genius to recognize if I'm sitting back with my arms folded. I'm not very impressed. I'm leaning forward and smiling, then I'm sort of on your side, you know.
I suppose it depends on the quality of the camera as well. So that if you can pick up those very, very small movements, infinitesimal movements,
Like
or
that.
ticks, and
I'm not buying from you.
He's got,
AI goes, chance of sale 0.
or Gavin looks like he's in a fog, you know. There's just like a face looming through the fog, you know. Don't know what's happened. I don't know whether he's never dusted his camera or something, but he's
Yeah.
It seems all a bit. Oh, hope he doesn't watch this.
That'll put the readership up by 100%, won't it? Really?
Yeah, definitely.
I hadn't seen him for ages, actually. Yesterday was the first time I've seen him in years.
Yeah, he's selling some kind of coin. It's like this green carbon credits, but it's not really like that. It's called
Is
a
that about all the oil thing and recycling?
plastic credit, and for each amount, a certain number of plastic that they dispose of, it's kind of okay. I mean, you know, I've put all those details into ChatGPT, and it says it's not unethical, but it's probably a waste of time. So I mean, it's creating coins, virtual coins, every time they get rid of a certain amount of waste plastic. So
it's crypto.
Yes, in a way, and that yes, it is. And then they give you and if the idea is you buy the coins to subsidize your plastic use. So if you persuade people to buy coins to subsidize, you know, the value of the coins, they only issue so many coins depending on how much plastic they've got rid of. And then you can buy coins to offset your plastic use. And if more people do that, the value of the coins will go up.
He doesn't mention the coins at all when he talks in his intro. He talks about oil.
There has to be a business angle, otherwise he's not doing it. What's he wants to stick in a plastic bottle, you know?
Because I was sitting there going, well, why don't you just talk to ocean cleanup and then use all their plastic they're pulling out of the ocean and turn that into fuel? Yeah. You know, sure, that's a good business model.
Yeah, I thought he was selling the oil, but it's not. He's selling the coin. So,
well, there you go.
And it's some kind of M&M. Anyway, other uses that businesses are using right now is we probably come across it ourselves, is customer service. AI chatbots, which I've created a few myself to answer customer questions. But it's a lot easier now to create a chatbot than it was before, so we don't have to make giant flowcharts. Now you just bang all the information into a document, upload it, and it's away it goes, you know. And you can just edit that and add to it really easily, and your chatbot's updated. You don't have to rewrite the whole flowchart, you know. So and plus it can talk to you in a natural language rather than answer a series of questions. I still think that there's some still big companies with the yes no, you know, do you want this? Yes, no, and you have to keep clicking yes, no, yes, no, yes, no to eventually drill down to what it is you want.
It's the old style flowchart bots, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. So marketing, people use it all the time to write social media posts and email marketing campaigns and generate image for ads. This is saving a huge amount of time and is saving people money as well, because you're not getting someone to create your advertising image. And I was in two minds, you know, you're taking the work away from your image creator, but there again, a lot of really small businesses wouldn't have had those images at all. They'd have just lived without it, you know. So it's or they'd have used a generic one they've just got off the shelf, so from Canva or something. Oh, and then it's obviously automating the boring stuff, like we just spoke about, is the meeting notes and fireflies and things like that. And what's happening now is hyper personalization. So you can create incredibly personalized experiences for customers. So you can a clothing website can automatically adjust its homepage to show styles based on a visitor's past purchases, and you know, and with the right size and style and things like that. So and it's now it's also analyzing business data, which it's done for a while. It can forecast your busiest sales period, or identify which products are likely to be bestsellers next quarter or next year. So it kind of helps with stock management. And AI employees, like AI agents, are becoming more and more common. I mean, the Chinese especially have been big on this with their agents. So you can just delegate tasks, you know, find me the best 3 suppliers for this product, or book my travel plans for next month's conference, or, you know, it will handle any sort of research and execution. People are having trouble getting their heads around it, I think. So it's about the possibilities of it, because it's kind of it's getting it. What we really want AI agents to do is to do stuff like create websites and do all these things for us, just on a word, rather than it's actually just research at the moment. And it's but we are moving to that area where we can create websites with AI now, obviously, but we can't it's like the business in a box concept that Steffi mentioned earlier. It's not,
It'll happen. I'll write it one day.
yeah, it's not totally autonomous. So and like I say, the tools you can try are Perplexity is a good alternative to search engines. I think we've all used Perplexity, and you can just ask it a question in plain English, and it will search the web to provide a summarized answer with its, and it will name the sources as well. So that's quite good if you're doing market research and you want to do quotes. If you go to ChatGPT or Gemini, it'll give you the answer, but it won't necessarily give you the references. So so it's not just about automating tasks, it's about becoming a strategic partner. So it's yeah, so I think it's, like Steffi said, it's going to happen. So right. So oh yeah. There's the aggressive competitive analysis. So like imagine an AI that constantly monitors your competitors. It doesn't just track their prices, it scrapes their social media comments, reads every customer review for their products, analyzes their marketing campaigns, and identifies which of their employers are influential online. It can then deliver a daily report saying competitor X is getting negative feedback about their delivery times, and their top salesperson just connected with 3 of your clients on LinkedIn. Is a suggested marketing angle to capitalize on their weakness, you know. So, I mean, there's which is kind of it's the same scenario as before. It's kind of good and bad, you know. The level of optimized surveillance can feel like digital espionage. So is it fair to scrape and analyze the competitors' every single move? And some people would say, as they're a company, they're fair game, you know, rather than an individual. So it's does it move beyond healthy market awareness and move into a predatory form of intelligence that some would find ethically dubious? So that's an interesting conversation as well. And what's happening now as well is deep fakes for marketing. So a small business owner, you could create a highly personalized marketing video without ever stepping in front of a camera. Using AI powered platform, you could type a script, you could have a hyper realistic avatar of yourself, or a paid model, or stock avatar who would say it perfectly. You could then create hundreds of customized versions, you know. Hi Jane, I saw you were looking at our services, you know, and so it would be a video that you think they've made for you, but it's just been churned out by AI and ended up in your inbox.
Synthesia can do that.
Who's that? Sorry?
Synthesia.
Synthesia, yeah.
I've used that before. You get a pretty little girl and you get a nice background, you type the script in, and you can have boxes popping up at different times and stuff. I did do some videos, but it was going to get expensive if I committed to a subscription. But you can, if you send them a series of pictures, have you uploaded, and I think you can put your voice in there now.
Yeah. But can you do it? Give it a list of 100 names and it just go off and generate 100 videos?
I don't know, but there are tools that will do it. I've seen tools that can do that. So it actually personalizes it when it records the video, but you're going to end up with 100 different MP4s. So
yeah. So it's so again, is it blurring the line between reality and fabrication? So a potential client might think they're watching a video of you personally made for them, and in fact it's just been churned out. Again, it's going to be that trust thing, isn't it? So it's when does a helpful avatar cross the line into a dishonest deepfake? You know, if it looked like an avatar and it was just a cartoony thing, then we all know it's AI. There's no question about it, that we know someone's made it from the beginning, and that's our expectation. If it's you, we may have a different reaction to what we perceive to be a fake, you know. It would become less entertaining and more sort of questionable, or, you know, it may put people off. I don't know whether it will or not, but it's something that's interesting to talk about, you know. So and it's and again, the AI for recruitment, and this is happening now as well with CVs. It's they just feed the CVs into the AI and just say, oh, you want to interview 6 people. But say if the AI could scan every application that come in by email and rank the candidates based on keywords and experience, and then even arrange a Zoom with an avatar that then gives you questions, and it analyzes your responses to your answers and your professionalism. It could, you know, come up with the one candidate that you want without even you actually stepping in there, you know. again, it's an ethical minefield, and because AI models inherit and amplify human biases. It may learn from past data that the best candidates come from certain universities or postcodes, start discriminating against applicants from certain backgrounds, and it would be impossible to audit once it's been set in place, you know. So there are questions about fairness there as well. So it's yeah. So anybody got any views on ethics of the AIs that talk about? Is it?
There are no ethics with a purely logical entity.
No, that's right. AI is just going to do what you tell it to do in the end. You know?
I see. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever truly get artificial general intelligence, I mean proper sentience, unless it can have the five senses. Because how's it ever going to learn empathy without knowing how your gut feels when you do something wrong?
Yeah,
that sort of thing. How does it ever know that I'm not going to build a flamethrower because I know that fire hurts, you know? So,
but it'll get that from the ethics of the person that programmed it in the first place, you know, from the group of people that put it in there.
And that's why all your videos have got nice sassy boobies in there, because men find the LLMs.
All done by men, you know. But it could also be like a load of lefty university leavers have decided, have been working out the ethics of a machine. Doesn't reflect society, you know. How should it be pitched? How some people perceive the world, or how the world is, you know. Who knows?
But the ethics are going to change. So LLMs in 20 years will have different ethics to the LLMs of today.
Yeah.
You know, it's fascinating subject. And how do you code ethics into an AI without bias? It's
I mean, Grok's broke the mold in a certain way, but it's got the ethics of Elon Musk. So it's kind of a or
he's CEOs have psychopaths.
He's got that sort of more of an idea of I was going to say openness, but he's like anything goes more, you know. He's more of a well, it's, you know, it's up to people to decide whether they like that or not. So let's say
it's like when OpenAI, the image generator DALL-E 3 was first available. It was, you know, if you said give me a Nazi soldier, it'd have a black guy in there.
Yeah.
Or if you said give me a Viking, it would have a Chinese person in there, because it didn't understand, it was trying to be diverse.
That's right.
It didn't understand the cultural references, you know. So it's quite interesting. Really, the whole ethics.
It's kind of long. I mean, if you did a Viking today, there'd be no they'd all be northern warriors, you know.
Yeah, pasty white and mostly ginger as well.
Yeah. There were no skinny Vikings. I don't think there were anyway. I've seen the pictures. They're all He-Men, man-mountains.
They were manly men.
And the other one is scanning, you know, personal. Like if you want to persuade somebody, you scan all their information online, you know. You can do this now, and it's been happening for years, but if it was automated, it would be a lot less work, you know. Like you would scan all their social media posts, all their profiles, LinkedIn, anything they've got online that you can get access to. I know some things are private now, but you know, it can give you that it's ethically questionable. So I think that's the future. Is do you go for the ethical side like the EU are going for and get left behind in terms of stuff that's coming out, or do you know, what's best? I don't know.
It's tricky, isn't it? But I remember, this is a few years ago now, we interviewed somebody with a sales job actually, and he seemed marvelous in every way. Anyway, but some of the people in the office followed up on his social media, and he turned out to be really dangerously far right. He posted it all on, you know, so we didn't actually employ him. But yeah, it's but ethically, should we have done? I mean, it was open public knowledge, I suppose. You could say yes, it's fine, but would you take it to a and also other for certain employments they have psychometric testing, don't they? Is that invasive? So I don't know.
Yeah.
How do we feel about
I mean,
that?
they've always done the personality testing and Myers-Briggs to see if you fit in with the role, you know.
Mm.
I mean,
There's always going to be bias. I mean, in the early 2000s, I worked for a defense company, and there was no AI then. And I worked in the HR department, and there were a lot of young blonde women working in this particular company, and it just looked a little bit odd, and it was just bias from the HR manager who used to do that. And they did look for the CVs and stuff like that to obviously look at that. And I vividly recall one moment when we said there were two on paper, they were both the same. And we said, and they were both blonde, both young women. It matched the parameters, so we knew exactly what was going on. We said, which one do we choose? And he just came out and goes, one with the biggest tits, of course.
that's right.
And that was their decision making process within a thing. So the bias has always been there. It just makes you wonder whether it's going to carry on in some way.
Got a
bit
love
worse.
defense hierarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, type 60 words a minute. I don't know. I've never tried. Honestly.
Well, let's just say you do, love.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, thanks for coming along today. It's a bit of an ethical discussion rather than look at cool
That was good.
apps.
That's interesting.
It's something that's going to be, you know, it's the reason why the EU and the UK get left out of updates, because we do have some sort of semblance of privacy laws, and it's so they have to make sure they're compliant, or they have to change it for our market. So we usually get everything. It's just a bit later than everyone else. So it's because it's
the whole Sora debate, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
and then it turned out to be rubbish. So it's a big deal about it.
Yeah. Because they had to disable being able to make things look like real people and things like that, and you got to prove those things. So, although Grok doesn't seem to worry too much. Give me a avatar of Donald Trump, doing something unspeakable, and it'll do it. So anyway, thanks for coming along. See you next time. I think what day are we? Yeah, we're here next week. So yeah. Good, excellent.
Thanks everyone.
See you next time.
Thanks, David. Nice to see you all.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
David.